video cards changed like every 3 months. Something got upgraded, and then a game would drop, and you wouldn't be able to play it on your old on your old video card. You have to go out and buy a new video card, and it was a constant upgrade. But some people would do that. I'm one of those guys that I'm okay with paying the money for the new phone, as long as the change is worth it. And faster for me is worth it to me. If they keep making it faster, I'm okay with that. If they just do a color change, I could care less about a color change. That doesn't do nothing for me.
I think my big issue is that I'm noticing, like, when you get between the 6, like when you got the 6 and then you got the 6S, it's really, prime example, when Siri dropped. As far as the hardware, there was no difference. Siri could have run on any previous version, but they only made it work on new phones.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like, if you're going to sell me a new phone, I want substantive new things.
Yeah.
Jumping up, sitting there telling me it has the iRetina display. That's great. Guess what? You can't see all the pixels in an iRetina display because your eye doesn't work that well.
Right.
Even with 2010 vision, even with vision,
I think
your eye doesn't work that well.
Well, I don't know. I'll only disagree with a little bit because we're going to use this conversation to go right into our next topic, which is VR. VR came out and said that that it's going to be about $600, I think, for the VR unit, and for Oculus Rift. I'm sorry, and the reason why is because they were using a 1080p screen that you could see the pixelation in the screen, so they had to get a higher resolution, and because they had to get a higher resolution, and because of supply and demand, and the same screens are being used on smartphones now, that they had to raise the price of it because they cannot make the screen. So I think you can tell the difference in a Retina screen versus a non-Retina screen, but now that we're there, I can't tell the difference if it was to get any better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a point between going to, like, having that or giving me 12 more megapixels on my camera. What I would like to see Apple do is I would like to see Apple get behind the ideology of, there was the phone that was announced at E3 or CES a couple of years ago. It was a modular phone. It was basically, you had a phone, and if you wanted a professional camera, you could buy a, huge number of megapixel camera for your phone, and you could swap the parts out.
Yeah, but I think phones now. I think phones are cameras now. I think phones are cameras now. I haven't taken.
Well, I understand, but what I'm saying is, like, if you have a phone and you don't want a 12 megapixel camera because you don't really use your camera all that much, sell me a phone to where it has what I want on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing. Mac went to the area of, like, if you buy a PC, you use the example of a video card. If you buy a PC, you can swap out a video card.
Sure.
You don't have to buy a whole new PC. What Apple has done is said, hey, this is a new display, or hey, we've got a better quality video card, but now you can't crack open your Mac and buy a new thing. You have to literally go buy an entirely new computer because they've hermetically sealed everything.
I think for computers, they should definitely, there needs to be some upgrade on computers. On phones, I think it's a cost thing, and it may be a cost thing on computers too, but they don't want to make 8 million options and have to produce them in mass and then not sell them all, and then the price goes up because of that. I mean, it's mute to me because I don't care. I'm going to buy the new one anyway. So
yeah, well, this is why I think that I don't think it's a big deal for Apple. They have more money than anybody right now.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're literally sitting on more
as much BS as what's his name,
everybody else in the world.
As Tim Cook likes to say about, I'm trying to help people and all this other stuff. Yeah, right, dude. You're a multi-quad billionaire, whatever you are. Like, you could sell a cheaper phone if you wanted to. Like, let's.
Oh, they definitely could. Apple right now could probably give phones away for free and still post profit, and still have more money than everybody else.
All right, so let's push back to it. VR. Are you looking forward to this Oculus Rift or Sony VR?
I'm looking forward to trying it out, but I don't know how. I think it's going to take a combination of a lot of different things. I think the idea of VR, one of the things that was big or that I think will be a big integral factor, and you're starting to see a lot more of it, is these omnidirectional treadmills.
Oh
They
yeah.
give you the ability to walk as if you're in game, and yet it becomes part of the controller. It
I don't
adds.
want to walk, to be honest with you. I
No, I
want to
know, but
sit
I'm
my
saying.
fat lazy ass down on the couch, and I don't want to go anywhere.
Well, I think for this is. I think we're on that cusp of with the Oculus Rift. I think it's going to be great technology, but you're going to start getting into this thing where video games aren't going to be just passive experiences anymore.
We have a listener that says, can you imagine the porn on VR? Where you actually are sitting at the titty bar and you're watching porn stars dance in front of you.
I'm sure that will.
Apparently, there is a beta out for
I'm
that.
sure. As soon as somebody heard that there's going to be a
VR,
virtual reality thing,
yeah,
somebody immediately started working on virtual reality.
yeah.
Porn.
Now, if they could just get it to somehow spray that great powder scent that you always get, the purple magic powder that every
you get that,
stripper has,
like,
you might that might sell it over. You know, if you can have special purple
that,
powder.
yeah.
But
That special,
I don't know. I guess I would try
that special
VR.
blend of Bactine and
Yeah.
and glitter powder.
Yes, the magic.
Magic.
Right. So I would try VR, I guess, but like I don't want to get up. You know what I mean? I'll be. I just don't know how they're gonna do it. Where I'm not gonna, because when I put it on, I have a feeling I'm gonna be immersed. Right? It's gonna be great where you can hear everything. You're looking around. You're in the world, and then my body is going to want to get up, and then I'm gonna trip over my coffee table and break my $600 headset, and I'm gonna be pissed. So I don't know how they're gonna do it. Maybe I'm not smart enough to vision it, but I just don't know how they're gonna do it, and I think it's going to be good for some things, and some things it's not. Like the Wii at the beginning with the remotes, that was good for some things, but I don't want to play every game with a Wii remote. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want a controller.
Yeah, no. I think it should be. I think and I think that's what you're going to see. I think you're going to see games that are specifically going to be made for that VR experience.
Sure.
And I think what you're going to see is eventually, I think if the guys who make the Oculus Rift have any kind of forward vision, is that you're going to see the utilization of these multi-directional, these omnidirectional treadmills and controllers that are, I think you're going to see like the in the style of that PlayStation Move gun controller that they released with Killzone. I think you'll see that start to work. And I think once you get that, I mean, if you think about it, you've got Kinect or the PlayStation Eye technology, you've got VR technology, you've got all the things to literally build a game station to where you can, stand up in it, hook yourself up into a harness, grab your controller, put your VR headset on, and you're running through the fields of Normandy, or you're climbing up a mountain, or you're fighting off, trolls in a dungeon, or whatever you're going to be doing. So I think that it's going to open up that immersive factor for a lot of things.
Yeah. I think
just to see how well it works.
I think that would be a really cool thing to have in MMOs. Now, maybe not so much standalone, but MMOs where there's actual interaction with other people. I think that would be kind of neat. Because you could be in, we talked about World of Warcraft a little bit ago, you could be actually in one of the cities of World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah.
Not see anything else.
Walk around and talk to other people. And I think it'd be interesting. But then you get dangerously close to that horrible Bruce Willis film that I can't remember the name of, where everybody just laid in their little containers when they had their puppet people going out and doing their stuff for them.
Right. All right, so that's what we have on tech. Real quick on comics, I put two things down here. Apparently Marvel's doing a new Civil War. I mean, shocking that they do a new Civil War in the comic books the same time the Civil War comes out. So that's coming out. And then we also have Delete, number one. Now, Delete is a Jimmy Palmiotti is the writer. I want to say Justin Gray is also writing it with him. And the artist is John Timms, along with Palmiotti's wife, Amanda Connor, doing the cover. And I pre-ordered this. I'm a big fan. I followed Palmiotti on Twitter, and he actually gave me my first signature ever on a comic book. So I sort of follow him. I'm definitely a fan of his. But basically, the comic book is set. It says in the near future, where the science can implement or remove human memories, and the government uses brain scan technology in criminal investigations, a mute girl witnesses a multiple murder and must turn to a handyman for protection from the police and an army of killers. Basically, it's the same people. Jimmy does Harley Quinn's new thing, which is really popular right now, which is also, I think Harley Quinn's becoming a more popular character in comic books, especially with the new movie coming out. I don't know. I think this is going to be a good one. I've already pre-ordered it. It comes out in March, so that should be pretty interesting. So a big shout out to Jimmy Palmiotti, and I'll hit him up on Twitter, let him know we talked about him. But if you haven't met him, he's at some of the Comic Cons, and he's always so nice to his fans, man. He sits there, talks to them. If there's nobody else in line, he'll sit there and talk to you for 20 minutes, 25 minutes while something's going on. And he's real passionate about what he does. So I know me and Brian have been out there, met him a few times, and he's a class act. So it's good stuff. That's all I got. Now we have a crap ton of video games coming out. And we cannot talk about all of these in depth. We're running about an hour and a half. So again, it's going to be the Power Hour. First one I got, Far Cry Primal. I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably pre-order Far Cry Primal just because it looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting. It seems to be they're kind of getting away from that kind of goofy jock bro mentality character.
I think they're going to be.
That's really interesting.
I think they're going to be reusing a lot of sets, though. I think Far Cry 4. They've already shown that the elephants in Far Cry 4 and this they're going to be very similar, and everything's going to be very similar. So that's the only thing I don't like is that it seems like almost we're getting an expansion of Far Cry. I hope it's good. I like Far Cry series. Next one we have is No Man's Sky. You were talking about that one. What's that one all about, Rob?
Oh, I'm super excited. It's a Sony PlayStation game. It's going to be amazing. It's a procedurally generated universe.
Yeah.
When you start the game, it generates a whole new universe. It's literally the size of an entire universe.
Wow.
And you will, I think they said if everybody played it and went exploring every day for 8 hours a day, it would literally take over 1,000 years or something like that to fully explore the universe that is generated.
So what you're telling me is that I'm going to spend a lot of time in this game.
Yeah, it's basically I mean it has the elements of a video game, but it also has it's an exploration game.
Yeah.
You get to go to new planets. You get to name, if you're the first person that goes to that planet, you get to name the creatures. You get to name the trees. You get to name the planet and everything. So I think it's a pretty interesting thing. I'm really excited for it. A lot of people are excited for it. It's a big deal this year.
Okay, Legend of Zelda on the Wii U.
I know I'm going to probably catch flack for this, but I'm not a big.
You're going to catch flack from me because I'm pumped about that game. That is the only game. I will buy a Wii U just for that game, and then I will sell it because the Wii U is a piece of shit. And that will be the only game that I buy. Maybe Mario Maker after I buy that game just to try it and say I played it. But
yeah,
I literally am going to buy the bundle for the Legend of Zelda Wii U just to play it, and then I'm going to sell it because they're going to make a new one. My hope is
we have a Wii U. My son and I, we also have 3DSs. As far as the Nintendo universe goes, him and I play Pokemon. I'm not a big Pokemon guy. But we enjoy kind of like seeing who can